Hey guys, this is Aegis, and we're going to be watching my favorite mirror matchup here. This is going to be Terran versus Terran, and it's going to be on my favorite map, Shakura's Plateau. We're going to check out this game between Empirekas, and over here we do have Beastyqt. I'm going to call him QT. So Empirekas is going to be spawning over here as the red Terran player. I think this was from, if I'm not mistaken, IEM. So I think it's a best of 3, but if it's a best of 5, somebody let me know and I'll go looking for more replays. And there is the good luck, have fun from Beastyqt, and Empirekas is responding, have fun and good luck. So very well mannered here from both players. Looks like a little bit of deviation here. A supply depot at the front for Empirekas and a supply depot at the back for Beastyqt. He's going to be getting up his refinery very early. So we're going to see what he decides to do with this. Maybe super ultra fast. Actually, no. This is the Boxer Blue Flame Hellion build. So we're going to be seeing a really fast reactor factory with, a really fast tech lab factory to be able to get out lots of Blue Flame Hellions. And we're going to see if Empirekas is going to be able to respond to this with his normal build, getting the barracks up at the front and the refinery in the back. So no super early expand out of Empirekas for the moment, and we are definitely going to be seeing this Blue Flame Hellion build. It's going to be just enough money to get that factory right after this barracks is done. Still no scout from either player. So very interesting here, neither player opting to scout, neither player is interested in what their opponent is doing. So Empirekas is going to be throwing down his second barracks in the back of his base over here. Also checking to see if there's anything on the low ground and high ground in this little corner. Looks like that factory has been started by Beastyqt. He's also got his orbital command on the way. It's slightly late, but of course those Blue Flame Hellions can easily even up a down economy in a flash. So we've got a couple of Marines coming out for Beastyqt, and I cannot wait to see this. We've got the tech lab on the way, and we've got the factory finishing up. Soon we will be seeing the Hellions out on the field and the Blue Flame upgrade that makes them so good. And we have a Reaper. It will be a Scout Reaper from Empirekas, and actually if he does keep that alive, I think Reapers actually beat Hellions one-on-one. Not sure, somebody can verify that for me, but I'm pretty sure that does happen. Blue Flame now on the way for Beastyqt, and Empirekas at 22 food getting up additional Reapers. So that's a lot of Reapers right now. He's got 2 barracks actually just pumping Reapers. This is very interesting. He's got 1 Reaper in the front. He's also sent SCV over here. 2 Reapers going to be popping out. We'll see if he's able to do some damage. And against those Hellions, actually, he may be in an okay position. Hellion does cross paths with that SCV. Will be turning around to clean him up. The SCV does not stand a chance. It does not see an expansion. So Empirekas should know that something funky is going on, such as Blue Flame Hellions. We also have an expansion started in the main for Beastyqt, and we've got the Reapers now congregating in the center. Going to be having their Reaper convention. This is as many as it gets these days, so they shouldn't be waiting for any late people. Got the Hellions going to be parked in the backside of Beastyqt's base. He's got his starport on the way, going to be able to do some lifting action. Looks like the Reapers are going to be headed towards that backside. Hellions are in position to fry those Reapers, and they are lined up, but it looks like they will be able to clean them up. Reapers very quickly cleaning up a couple of Hellions here. They're going to be targeting those Hellions down. Oh man! Cleaning up those Reapers in one shot. Whoopsie daisy, forgot to set the busy. And we have the factory lifting up, going to be switching over. Looks like a little bit of indecision there. And the Hellions getting out of the way will be advancing across the field. And a bunch of Marauders out for Empirekas, so he's going to be in a great position at the front, but once the drop happens, we'll see how well he deals with that 2 additional Hellions coming up. Also getting down a supply depot, going to be able to close off these spaces a little bit, but of course Hellions with their range can easily scoot along the backside and roast away a ton of those SCVs that do line up very well. Oh, 1 Hellion getting taken out over there. Beastyqt wants to be more careful with those guys. They are pretty cheap in terms of when they do damage, but if you're just losing them here or there, it's not a good idea. Bunker coming up for Beastyqt, and there is a medevac with 2 Hellions inside, loaded up and ready to go. It looks like floating over starport, going to be getting a Banshee, so very interesting here from Beastyqt. Wants to keep Empirekas on his toes, and he's actually responding with a ton of Marauders. So that Banshee could be in a great position to do a ton of damage. Marauders in the back of the base. Empirekas knows about this possibility. They've got the concussive shells, going to be able to slow those Hellions down a little bit. Marauders hanging out in the back as well. Where is that drop? There's that drop coming in from Beastyqt, but it looks like it will get thwarted by those Marauders on the ground. Does not want to lose those Hellions. The 2 gas getting taken, and Beastyqt, if he doesn't do any damage, he's just going to be so far behind in terms of his economy. And here comes the drop into the main. They're going to be dropping off in this tiny little corner over here. Looks like they will be sneaking into the main real soon, and they meet up with the Marauder. It will slow down one of the Hellions. It looks like the bunch in the main will be able to keep those Hellions from doing any damage, but it does look like the Hellions will get out of there relatively unscathed. And it looks like that Banshee is complete, and a second one is on the way. So those Banshees, when they start coming across here, will be able to do plenty of damage, especially because there's mainly Marauders out on the field. Let's take a look. It's 12 Marauders and only 6 Marines, and if microed well, that Banshee can take out a ton of units, targeting down some SCVs over here. And it looks like he can actually target down that 1 Marine and bring the Marine count even lower. And there's only 5 Marines out on the field for Empirekas. Beastyqt getting himself in a great position, going to be microing against those Marines, and will be able to continue doing damage here. And it looks like he's forced up a missile turret despite no cloak on those Banshees. And that Banshee doing huge amounts of damage. She's up to 14 kills and will continue to do tons of damage against the SCV line over here. Is there another one? Looks like the drop off in the main. Oh my goodness, the Beastyqt lining them up. All of them retreating to the side. It looks like the Blue Flame Hellions will be able to, toasting a ton of those SCVs. But it looks like a counterattack happening over here. The Hellions will help defend, and it looks like a Banshee over here going to town on those Marauders. Will take a lot more hits to kill those guys off. But the second Banshee over here still doing tons of damage. Commander Banshee with 22 kills will get repaired up, and Beastyqt has gotten himself into a huge lead, nearly doubling the food of his opponent. He's got Siege Tech finishing up, Siege Tanks on the way, more Banshees, and the infantry weapons level 1 also finishing up. And let's take a look at the workers killed tab. After that, 26 workers killed. Not too many by the Blue Flame Hellions inside the main, but 22 kills on that one. Banshee at the natural expansion, and still forcing Empirekas to throw up these missile turrets. Horrible amounts of damage. Looks like another Banshee over here trying to do some more damage, possibly picking something off. It looks like it will be headed away. Stim from those Marines going to be forcing them to waste the energy of those medevacs, also getting them down in terms of health, and those Marines stimming forth, trying to get rid of that Banshee, but it looks like it will not happen. Banshee will continue to do some damage around here. Another restim, oh no, but it looks like the Banshee does go down. And it looks like a sensor tower in the back for Beastyqt. Does not want to get counter-dropped by Blue Flame Hellions. 2 Banshees in the army mix over here. The Commander Banshee will be commanding this army here. We've got another command center on the way for Beastyqt. And even though he's gotten himself a pretty good lead, he doesn't really have a way of actually killing his opponent right now because of the high Marauder count, which does counter everything in this mix. Except for the Banshees, of course. Seashanks up onto the high ground. It looks like we may be seeing a little bit of pushing here, and a lift from the medevacs will be headed into this dotted zone, and the Banshees will be crossing paths over here, going to be cleaning up a couple of Marines. Looks like a Sea Shank up in the main, and the turrets will deter that drop, and it looks like the Banshees, oh no, almost getting taken out there. What is he doing? We've got that Commander Banshee down to red health once again. She likes to take risks in her life. Can't blame her for that. We've got the command center going to be morphing into an orbital command, taking that third base real soon and securing an even further economic lead. Empirekas not even mining the 2 gas. Oh my goodness. Looks like Thors will be on the way real soon for Empirekas. Or maybe not Thors. I guess the upgrades for his mech. And a little bit of a drop over here from the Hellions, taking out a bunch of SCVs. Units were workers killed tab, 32 workers killed so far. So that's 6 more workers right there, and every single kill counts, especially in this mirror matchup. And with this second sensor tower, he has a very good idea of exactly what's going on. He even knows that there's a single Marine hanging out over here. The third base is currently getting taken. Sea-Shanks taking up a position over here to prevent any sort of stim forth and run by. We've got the Medivacs and the Marine Marauder Ball going to be advancing against this position, but the Blue Flame Hellions and the Sea-Shanks are in a great position to defend. And it looks like the Marine Marauder Ball will be relegated to swinging around the bottom side. Looks like they're going to be hanging out here. It looks like another load up, but again, he's going to run into this sensor tower range, and Beastyqt will be able to reposition his army units, get those Hellions in a good position, and another load up. Going to be crossing the paths of those Medivacs, so both players are dropping each other right now. Empirekas is going to be headed right for this location. Looks like a turret will be trying to deter that, but a scan going down, and the entire blue Terran army is caught out of position, and that one bunker will not hold. And the Empirekas unloading over here, but the Sea-Shank sieging up. It looks like he will be losing the vast majority of his army, dropping down to 100 food. All the Marauders getting cleaned up, as well as the Banshees. And the single Viking in the air will be able to clean up a ton of units. Sea-Shank in the main as well, dropping off a couple of Marauders. Looks like this drop is completely cleaned up. Empirekas falling 50 food under Beastyqt, and he does not even have a third base completely mining. Couple of mules dropping there for the moment, but it's just going to be so hard to break across this tank line along with the Hellions. And looks like another drop in the main. Let's take a look at the kill count. 35, not that much killed, so it looks like Empirekas did respond in time, pulling his SCVs off, but again, that's lost mining time, and he's behind by a lot. No Sea-Shanks out on the field for Empirekas. Couple of Marine and a Marauder actually chilling out. They're going to be delinquent for the entire game. They don't want to get killed off, so that's actually pretty smart. We've got the Medivacs over here going to be healing up a couple of units, but it looks like Beastyqt has secured his expansions well, and he's also grabbing 2 additional command centers here, possibly some planetary fortresses to help him defend, and he's got his 4th base going to be up and running real soon, or maybe even just orbital commands and just trading SCVs for mules. And Medivac will be retreating here. A couple of maybe some repair for him. Or her, I mean. We've got another command center coming up for Empirekas at 136 food. He's trying to play some catch up here. Thor's on the way for Beastyqt, going to be adding that to his army composition to be able to clean up any sort of Viking balls or anything of that sort. And we've got the Medivacs going to be swinging around the backside, and we'll see if Beastyqt notices and repositions his units. But however, he is pushing across the map right now. A ton of Sea-Shanks going to be pushing here, and the Marines and the Marauders are sort of out of position. The Hellions going to be going to town on the orbital command, and the SCVs are lined up, but it looks like a couple of Marines and Marauders will help him defend, and a drop over here will be able to clean up a ton of SCVs, but the Thors and some Hellions are going to be getting into position and repairing up siege tanks, going to siege up over here at this next tower. It looks like the defense has been broken over here. Empirekas swinging forth with a much more powerful army. I mean, much more mobile army. He's got a less powerful army, and is going to be trying to move into the natural expansion. We'll see if Beastyqt is going to be able to defend in time. It looks like he's going to stim and run towards those Hellions. Hellions getting some damage in, but the Sea-Shanks have been surrounded on both sides. Going to be cleaning up a ton of SCVs as well, and a single Sea-Shank up on the high ground trying to clean this up, but it looks like it will not happen. A few more Sea-Shanks, 4 Sea-Shanks at a time, will be able to siege up on the high ground and prevent this army from advancing any further. Looks like that medevac will get taken out real soon with the Vikings now returning to base. And that attack has been cleaned up. Beastyqt still at a 25 food lead. Seashanks also returning as well. That did buy Empirekas some time to get up his third expansion, and he's going to be retaking his fourth over here in just a second. And it looks like Beastyqt is going to have to retake his third base as well. Going to be resetting up those Seashanks into nice positions to help himself defend. And he's also taken the bottom position as his fifth base over here, getting an orbital command. Both players going to be sitting back for some time. Empirekas going to be continuing to make those Marines and Marauders. No tech transition here. A couple of Hellions trying to get into position. Looks like the army of Empirekas will chase up to them and prevent them from doing any damage at all. Seashanks sieging up over here. Looks like the Red Terran army will be running by. Looks like no. There's a Seashank over here as well as a planetary fortress. It will be pretty hard to break that down, but Stimpack does clean things up pretty quickly as well. We've got a couple of Hellions over here going to be getting some kills. 3 kills on that Hellion. Not too bad for a Hellion. And we've got a couple more mules getting thrown down over here at this base. 70 workers killed total by Beastyqt. So that's a lot of damage done. Beastyqt extending the lead to 50 food once again. Terran vehicle plating level 2 also finishing up. Infantry weapons level 3 finishing for Empirekas. More Thors on the way for Beastyqt. He's getting the +2 weapons as well. Another planetary fortress coming up. Where is it? Looks like over here. And our Red Terran player looks like he's got his factory landed over here. And his mainly Marauder ball is going to be headed across the map. I'd like to see some additional Banshees in that army. It will decimate those Marauders. Looks like the Vikings are going to be coming over here and cleaning up a couple of those medevacs. And since there is barely any Marines, there's nothing that Empirekas can actually do about that. More starports coming up for Empirekas. And another scan going out. Looks like he will be playing that game where he tries to catch up in terms of Viking count. And the medevacs trying to heal up this army as quickly as possible. Vikings going to be coming forth again to pick off a couple more medevacs. Looks like they will not be able to with those Marines stimmed up. Hellions and the tanks are starting to push across the map. Going to be constricting the movement of his opponent. It looks like a double drop into the main over here, and our blue Terran player is advancing forward. And it looks like a stim forward, and those Seashanks are going to be raining down the hail on those units. But it looks like the more mobile army is going to be slipping by and headed towards the space. Going to be targeting down that planetary fortress. A nice repair there by our blue Terran player. A lift from that command center will prevent it from going down. Looks like the Seashanks have sieged up in a nice position, as well as the Hellions killing off the entire army of Empirekas, and the trees getting set on fire as well. A re-land, and Beastyqt continues mining without any damage done whatsoever. He's max at 200, finishing up the vehicle weapons +2. More Marauders on the way for our Red Terran player. He's going to be poking forth with a bunch of Marauders towards the side. Seashanks are in position, but they will get cleaned up pretty quickly. And the Planetary Fortress also going to work. The tanks quickly repositioning themselves along with those Hellions. Ship weapons level 1 on the way for Empirekas. Beastyqt actually has not gotten any ship weapons for his Vikings. And 3 more factories coming up for our Blue Terran player. The Marine Marauder ball is starting to look not so great against this huge mech ball that's advancing forward. It looks like the Hellions are going to be poking in here, and they're lining up, but the Hellions are not in position. Oh my goodness! And here comes a huge shot! Oh, look at all those mules. 85 workers killed. And that's 15 workers killed in just one shot, and it looks like the command center quickly falling to those Vikings. Oh man, it looks like the Red Terran army is swinging around the backside. Seashanks now sieging up and decimating that Terran bio ball. Thor also going to be going to town on those Marines and Marauders. And looks like actually, no, the tank line has not been broken. It's just kind of out of position, that's all. Looks like the Hellions also getting cleaned up with more reinforcing tanks just moving forward and cleaning things up. 170 food for Beastyqt and 111 food for Empirekas. Simming forward, going to be cleaning up the remainder of that tank line. But it looks like the Sea Shanks over here going to be moving forward and cleaning up the remains of that Marauder Ball. And another scan going down, going to be placing those tanks in a nice position at the bottom of this ramp, preventing any reinforcements from the main, and then assaulting the last two bases directly. And the Marauder's going to be moving forward. This is the last hurrah. The SCV's getting pulled off the line, and the Marines coming forward. Empirekas with the GG, well played, and this game goes to Beastyqt. Very long game here, 28 minutes, and we're going to be headed to game 2.